Saivai, 171, when we looked at it in the mid-innings, we thought it was quite a competitive total. But then one forgot how good this Indian batting lineup is. No total really is that challenging. Would you say that even this one, which looked a very healthy total that Pakistan had put, that India won on a canter?
Yes, and that's only because they got off to a very good start. I kept talking about, the power play. And India won that power play convincingly with the opening partnership between Abhishek and Shubman Gill. Because, they just took the game away from Pakistan. If Pakistan had got a wicket or two in that first 6 overs, it would have been tough going for India. I'm not saying India wouldn't have got there, but the ease with which they got. They could afford to lose 2-3 wickets. They could afford to lose Surya Kumar Yadav, their captain, for a duck, and yet end up winning with more than an over to spare. It just tells you how when you have depth in batting like you have, and that's thanks to the all-rounders. Shivam Dubey is an all-rounder, Hardik Pandya is an all-rounder, Akshar Patel is an all-rounder. It gives the captain so many options, both in batting and bowling, to float the batting order up and down as well.
Saivai, I mean, just looking at it from India's point of view, you mentioned about Surya Kumar Yadav getting out very cheaply. I think India's biggest match winner, without doubt, in the recent past has been Jasprit Bumrah. He had a very rare off day. Kuldeep Yadav is that other one who is a big match winner. He showed it to you in the previous 2 wins that India had in the group stages. He was your #1 performer. He had an off day. India's fielding, which has always been top-notch, was well below par today. Everything that could go wrong for them while fielding went wrong, and yet they won. What does this really signify? Is there a huge gulf in the talent, in the skill levels, in the class of the two teams at the moment?
No, I think it's a temperament. These players are super confident. They have tremendous confidence in their ability. They have tremendous confidence in their teammates to pull off the impossible. And that is what helps any team to beat the odds. And that is what this team did. Despite dropping 4 catches, which could have actually cost them maybe another 20, 30 runs, the way they came back after the halftime and bowled those overs, because at halftime, Pakistan were 90, 91 for just 1 wicket down. And it looked as if they could possibly, with 1 wicket down, 9 wickets, and in the next 10 overs, score anywhere between 100, 120 and take the score to maybe 200 and make the difference 200 plus. But that didn't happen because they bowled well those 3-4 overs after that. Yes, the last 3 overs went for a few, but that is what you normally expect. And the last 3 overs will be hammered for a few runs. That is what you normally expect.
Saiva, let's talk about Abhishek Sharma. We've seen him now play for India. We've seen him play in the IPL. We know what we're going to get from him. Now, is it fair to say, see, again, he'll have some days where he'll fail, some days where he'll be outstanding. But is it fair to say that the day he's on song, no matter what the total, India team is chasing it down with Abhishek Sharma in their ranks, if it's his day?
The day he's on song, the India team is not only going on to win, they're going to dance to a win. Because when somebody's singing, you have to dance, no? The others will dance to a win. And the crowd will also be dancing in the stands with the display of batsmanship that we see today. Both these Punjab guys, what a display of batting! It was just incredible. The way they made it look. I mean, the attack was a pretty decent attack from Pakistan, but they made it look very, very simple. Batting was looking very good. The way they were playing shots off the front foot, off the back foot, everything, and the way Abhishek anticipated that, having hit Shahid Afridi for a 4 off the front foot in their previous encounter, that the first ball would be a short ball. Sometimes, mentally you have to outthink the bowler. And he anticipated it so well that also tells you that this young man has got a good cricketing head on his shoulders.
I'm just trying to look at the difference between the two teams, Saivai. Here you had the top scorer for India, Abhishek Sharma. For Pakistan, you had Saibzada Farhan. Saibzada Farhan reaches his 50 in about 35 deliveries, scoring at a strike rate of 135, 137, and that's considered an outstanding performance. He celebrates. Then there is Abhishek Sharma, who reaches in 50 in a strike rate of better than 200. Do you think this is actually telling you the difference in terms of how the two teams are operating, and which is now translating into the results as well between these two teams? Because I think now it's 7 games on a trot where India have beaten Pakistan.
Well, there you are. I mean, you're talking about difference of 10 deliveries and getting to half centuries. So 10 deliveries, the way Indians are scoring, you're looking at about anywhere between 40 to 60 runs. So that's the difference, 40 to 60 runs. Uh, Saib Zadab, getting his half century in 35 deliveries, and Abhishek getting it in 22 deliveries, 24 deliveries. So there it just tells you that in those balanced 10 deliveries, the difference, India would have still scored 40 or 60 runs, and then that makes the difference between winning and losing.
So we're talking about the batting, and they deserve all the praise. Let's look at India's bowling. It wasn't a great day, as I mentioned, for let's say a Kuldeep or a Jasprit Bumrah. At one point, Pakistan seemed to be primed to be getting anywhere between 180 to 200. Then comes this spell between the 11th and the 17th over, that 6-over spell where India only concede about 36 runs, 6 runs and over, and also pick up 3 wickets. Do you think that was the turning point? That was the game-changing moment?
That certainly helped because no, the game-changing moment. Don't forget, irrespective of what the score was, the game-changing would have happened when India went into bat. If they had lost a couple of wickets, that would have made a big difference. Even if you're chasing, say, 150 or 160, that would have made a big difference. So getting that start was important. But what the bowlers did to pull Pakistan down from that 91 for 1 to 112 for 4, that made a big difference, because suddenly when you lose wickets, the new batter who comes in doesn't find it easy to tonk the ball straight away. So even he takes a little time to get going. And that is where those 4-5 overs made a big difference between India chasing maybe about 190 to 200 and India chasing 172.
Okay, Saibai, in terms of this victory, do you think after all that happened in the build-up to this particular encounter, it'll be an understatement if I say that it was heated, that it was, it had a bit of a political mark as well. So clearly, there was a lot of hype going into this, encounter per se. Would you say that at the moment, plenty of pressure is going to be off from the minds of the Indian players? Because winning this game would have been probably doubly more important than maybe the first game that they played versus Pakistan.
Yes, you're right. I think because after all the hullabaloo that happened after the first game, clearly I think, yes, the pressure would have been on the Indians. And then maybe it showed while they were on the field, because, they dropped relatively simple catches. There was the odd difficult one, of course, but the kind of standard of fielding that we've seen, the difficult ones are made to look quite simple by the modern generation. But yes, I think the pressure certainly was on the Indians to make sure that they win this game in style, because all the things that happened after last Sunday, they would have built up on them, and this win certainly showed that they have the temperament to cope with anything.
Do you think, Saibai, some of it spilled over on the cricket field? We saw, Sahibzada Farman with that celebration, and then Haris Rauf getting into an aji-baji with Abhishek, and then, a little later as well. Do you think some of that spilled over on the field, or do you think this is par for the course when it comes to an India-Pakistan game?
Fast bowlers will get a little bit touchy if they're hammered away, and so no surprise that happened. So no, I think that's pretty normal for an India-Pakistan game. The odd player is going to celebrate in a way which not too many from the opposition will like.
I'll take a couple more thoughts, Saibai, on the encounter. One, let's talk about Jasprit Bumrah. I can't remember him having an off day like today, but if you were to analyze his performance today, what would you say? Is it just one of those bad days? Because it's not about conceding runs. That can happen to any bowlers, has happened to Bumrah before. But the one thing that you know about Bumrah is that he's always on the ball. He's always very disciplined. Today, maybe a no ball here and there, lots of full tosses. This was a rare sight, would you say?
Maybe because he was playing after a gap of 1 week, that told on him. But India are looking after their number one bowler, and they have to, because it's such a crucial element. So maybe that 1 week off, because he played last Sunday, might have affected his rhythm, and that can happen to anybody. this is a game where even the greatest of players have a day off, have a bad day, and let's just hope that this is the one bad day that Bumrah has in this tournament.
So, a final question before we let you go. There was a bit of a controversy, as it always happens between India and Pakistan, about that catch of Fakhar Zaman. A lot of fans in Pakistan alleging that, oh, that really turned the game around. Fakhar Zaman is the #1 player. If he had carried on, things could have been different. What did you make of that catch? Out, not out? How did you see it?
It doesn't matter whether it was out, not out, or not. If he had batted and if he had scored 100, and if Pakistan had scored 250, India would have got 251, maybe in the last ball of the 20th over. But India would have still won the game. Whether it was out or not out, it doesn't matter.